right, so this training tonight is going to be about your thoughts and your mind, okay? Because a lot of you in this room, you're very, very capable of, are you recording?
Yes.
Oh, so I got to be on my best behavior. That's a little hard for me sometimes. But very capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Anything that you are willing to work hard for, you can achieve it, okay? So a lot of times it is just how you're seeing things, how you're perceiving things that is causing the delay, okay? Because it's never a denial, it's usually a delay, meaning not right now. And then when we put certain things in place, it can happen, okay? And I'm speaking to myself too, okay? So basically, what this training is how do you see this glass? Which one are you? Do you see this glass as half full? Can you guys see over there? Half full or half empty? Okay, so I want you to write that down on a piece of paper. Do you see the glass half full or half empty? Be honest with yourself. Now, the answer that you write down, it says a lot about who you are and how you live your life and the type of energy that you attract, okay? So I'll repeat that. The answer that you write down says a lot about who you are, how you live your life, and the type of energy that you attract, because you do know that we're all energy. It's all energy, spiritual energy, whatever you want to call it. We're energy. And we really do have the power to attract different things to us. We really do. Regardless if you want to believe that or not, it is really true. Okay? Now, I'm a very optimistic individual, and if you really know me, you know that I'm very optimistic. And I like to, I expect things to work out the way that they should. And that's not always easy, but generally they do. You know, because you ever find yourself worrying about something and then it doesn't happen? You did all that worrying and all of that negative energy going out, and it didn't even happen. Okay, so I'm pretty optimistic, and when things get kind of thick, I'm really good at pulling my thoughts through it and really saying, okay, it's not going to end like this. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. Some of my closest friends are like, oh my God, there you go again. Miss Positive all the time. Like, you gotta be. I'm like, because if I don't, by me being a high D personality, if I don't, I would stress and it would just drive everybody around me nuts. Okay, so Mary Kay always said herself, expect great things and great things will happen. Y'all know that's one of her quotes, right? So it's the same thing. Whatever you are expecting, that's what you're creating in your life, whatever you're expecting. Okay, so in my opinion, the jar is always half full. I always see it as half full, okay? Some people may see it as half empty, but it doesn't matter. It's how you see it. I see it as half full, okay? The other half is coming at some point in time, okay? So, just like the world is full of abundance. There's always positive in everything, regardless. I choose to see the positive in what's going on, because when I dwell on the negative, I feel very uncomfortable and I'm outside of who I am, okay? Some people, when you turn on and they watch the news all the time. They watch the news, and then you ever felt your spirit changing or your mood changing after watching the news? Especially CNN World News and just seeing all the catastrophes that's happening around the world. It is draining. It is so draining, and it will start to play on your psyche. Okay, so we really have to protect what we're watching and the energy that we are attracting. Okay, so a pessimist they see the jar as half empty. Okay, now it takes work not to see that. Okay, that has, some people will have to be trained, because it can be their past experiences as they were growing up as a child, their experiences that they had in their home, their parents, whatever. So a pessimist is not a bad person. That's how they truly see things, but you can be trained to see things in a different way. All right, so they expect things to run out or to end. All right, they never view the world as having enough, like there's lack or there's limited things in that's not a healthy place to be in, especially if that's happening all the time, because the world is full of abundance. It truly is full of abundance. So many pessimists, they won't admit to being a pessimist. I have a couple in my family. They call themselves realists. That's the new term that everybody's using now. I'm a realist. You can relate what I'm talking about. I'm a realist. I mean, it's just not going to happen that way. You know, I don't know. Nuclear war is coming. I'm just a real whatever. I don't want to hear that. Like, really? Did you just say that out of your mouth? Like, no. And then I say stuff like, say cancel clear. Cancel clear. That means I just cleared everything that I just thought. Just cancel that. But some people call it realists. Okay, well, but whatever. Realists don't want to get their hopes up on anything because they don't want to be disappointed later, okay? They just don't want to be disappointed. Well, we all win, we all lose. Some things happen, you know, when we want them to, and some things don't. So we're not going to always win at that appointed time, but just because I'm not winning right now doesn't mean that I'm not going to win later. So disappointment is going to come for everybody. Even with my 3 and 6 year old, they cannot walk around all day long with a tablet. Okay, so they get disappointed when you take it because they're so attached to this technology, but it's okay for them to get disappointed because they're going to get disappointed in their life. So it's just like with your business. Things are going to happen. You're going to get $0 facials. You're going to get people that say that they're going to host a party and you can't find them. Or on your way to the party, they're calling and say their dog ate the tablecloth, so you can't come over. I mean, all kinds of stuff. But do you think Jen is going to worry about that when she gets on that plane tomorrow? Nope. She's not going to think about it because she's going on an awesome trip for 1 week, all expense paid. So she's had the same experiences we had. So it's either you're going to think it positive or you're going to think of it in a negative light. Okay, so so who's right, the optimist or the pessimist? The answer is whatever you believe to be true. Mary Kay used to say, if you think that you can, you can. If you think that you can't, you can't. Whichever one you decide to choose that is right for you is right. So if I think that I can be a Cadillac director, then I can, and I will. I may not be tonight, but let's be clear, I will be in the Cadillac, okay? I said the same thing when I was in DIQ. I am going to be a director. Let's be clear. Now, we were in our 4th month, and we were coming down to the last day, and I was on the phone talking to one of my now unit members, and she said, well, I just don't think, some things that she said she was going to do, she just didn't think that she could pull through and do it. And she said, oh, no, but it doesn't look like we're going to. I said, wait a minute, hold up. Don't be talking that to me. So I told her, I said, you know what, call me back. She said, what you mean? I said, call me back, because I don't want to hear that. I had some people that was sitting there at the house, and I was like, if y'all can't say nothing positive, then you have to leave. And I was serious. I'm like, we have come too far not to finish. Let's be clear. We are finishing the Dream Team unit tonight, okay? Tonight. Matter of fact, we're going to be finished by 2 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, we were done. Because I was convinced. I was not speaking anything negative. I didn't want to hear any negative, maybe we can, anybody who was uncertain or unclear, let's be clear, I'm clear, okay? We're gonna finish, and we finished by 1 o'clock. And we didn't tell the rest of the unit because I didn't want them to stop working. So it's, how do you see it? Half full, half empty. Whatever your situation is, half full, half empty. Red jacket, is your glass half full? Do you have one arm in the red jacket in this glass? Director suit, car, whatever. Do you see it half full or half empty? It makes a difference. I know it's like a crazy analogy that somebody started, but when you think about it, it really does make a difference. All right, so those glasses are both half full and both half empty. It is your perception that shapes what you see and what you believe, okay? It's personal. What you see and what you believe is personal. It's your choice. You choose to believe positive and good and healthy thoughts, that's your choice. If you believe negative thoughts and, woe is me, and every time you get around somebody, they got to play a violin, that's your choice. But there's a cost to pay for those choices because we are energy. We are attracting things to us, regardless if we speak anything out of our mouth or if it's just our thoughts. This thing right here is a powerful machine. This mind is a powerful machine, okay? All right, so the optimist will see the blessings and the coincidences. and they will be grateful for how joyful life is. Grateful. When I got terminated, okay, I was walking to my car. I really wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at all. I didn't want to work there anyway. I really didn't. Honestly, I worked there because I had to trade their money for my time, right? Let's be clear, I had bills, right? But I really, in all of things, I really didn't want to work there. I really wanted to be in this suit and do this full time. But at the time, I didn't work hard enough or put the things in motion enough to make it happen. But what happened was my thoughts and everything kind of shifted the atmosphere, and it happened, and I got terminated. And when I tell some people who are not on that same thought level, because everybody's not on that positive thought level, that was a blessing in disguise. They're looking at me like, getting fired? Absolutely. And I say today, if I see my old supervisor who terminated me, I will give her a nice big old hug and offer her a pampering session, because now you're not my boss, so it doesn't matter if you know I'm celebrating. Because it was a blessing in disguise, because I'm living the life that I wanted to live, that I was dreaming of at that job every day. Like, oh. And then you talk to Jen on your lunch break and you see how bubbly she is and happy and free she is, and that just pisses you off and you hang up the phone and it's like, what? So I wanted to live that life. But in essence, I attracted that life because it was my thoughts. It was what I said out of this. And every day I went to work, and regardless of how negative the energy was at the job, no matter what I was going through, because it was a very hostile work environment, I stayed positive. And that positiveness was my spirituality, my relationship with my Christ, and then the other part was my Mary Kay family. Because when I left there, I mean, it's something about being in a pink bubble, even if it's not a meeting night. It's something to being on Voxer, the Facebook group, a customer, a skincare class, something, or just even doing your own face and saying, oh man, I look good today. So it was something about Mary Kay and my spirituality that just diluted all of the negativity that I had at that job. Now, don't get me wrong, it was stressful, but I was able to overcome it because I was being optimistic. I was being positive about it, to the point where I had a nice size office with a nice window and nice space, and people would come to my office like, where are your pictures of your family? Where are your flowers? Why? I ain't gonna be here long. I kept speaking that. Not that I thought I was going to get fired, but I'm not going to be here long, because I knew this is not the end of the road. And then I further told my assistant director, who was very cool, I said, look, let me just be real with you. Me maintaining this office and being in this job that I really don't want to be, she was one of my customers, so she really was cool, that I really don't want to be at, is holding up somebody else's dream to be in this job. And that's how I thought about it. I said, somebody who's fresh out of college, I had been in the field almost 15 years, somebody who's fresh out of college would love to come and be a financial aid counselor and have this, this job at Bowie's, okay, I won't say the name of it, but just have this job at one of the major universities and just talk to people about financial aid and just be in the field. It's a good field to be in. I mean, I can make a whole lot of money, but still, I'm holding up somebody's destiny. So I need to fulfill my destiny so I can move out the way for them, right? That's how I thought about it, and that was pretty daggone good back then. Pat myself in the back. That's maturity. So the pessimists, they will see injustice and disappointments. Woe is me. I mean, anybody has ever been around somebody is like, oh my gosh, did she say one more negative thing? It just drains the life out of you. It's like every word that comes out is just, oh, you ain't never gonna, oh my goodness, like really? Well, I have moved those people out of my life a long time ago, because we don't mix. It's like oil and vinegar. It just doesn't mix, So they will be angry and frustrated about how life never, ever goes right. Nothing goes right. Woe is me. You just need to just walk around with a violin, okay? It's just really not good. So what are you? Look back at your paper and see. What are you? Are you an optimist or are you a pessimist? I'm just going to give you a chance to think. Now, all of us have some pessimistic moments. We all do, because we're human. Of course we do. But if you dwell there, that's not a healthy place. It's not a healthy place.
What do you do if you're an optimist married to a pessimist?
Oh, no, you might have to go see a shrink. No, I'm just
No.
kidding. I really believe that if you're married to somebody, you have a harder job, but you can overcome that by being so positive. Because I believe positivity can be contagious. I really do believe that. Yeah, I mean, it may not happen right away, but I really believe when you are around, because there have been some people in Mary Kay, and if anybody wants to chime in, who have come into Mary Kay, and the very first day that they got pinned and they walked around and they're around all of these positive, like-minded women, I admit, I have changed. I was a tomboy growing up. I played volleyball, softball, and basketball, and I was the captain on all teams. So I had a mean crossover, and I still got it.
Okay.
I could play ball, okay? And Glenda knows, she went to high school with me. Everybody knew Lisa Levy. So this is not, when people see me on Facebook, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, some of my old boys, they used to inbox me. They don't inbox me no more because you're crossing the line. But anyway, because I look good. I have matured. I have grown. I have developed because I've been around so many positive people. It's impossible. Or you would be so uncomfortable, you would either change or you would jump ship and say, them ladies are crazy. So it's kind of the same way if you're in a relationship with somebody that you love but they are negative, you have to train them to be positive, to see it in a different light. And just by who you are and your thoughts and how you handle situations. And I believe that you can train them, because that's what kids do. When we're raising kids, they watch what we do. If they are growing up in a negative environment, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be negative. In a positive environment, 9 times out of 10, there's always some exceptions to the rule, but I believe you have the power to make a shift in that person's life by you being optimistic. Mm-hmm.
What I found worked for me, because I too was in a very negative world prior to Mary Kay, and a lot of those people are not in my world anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But what worked for me when I had to be around them, like very close family members, was to not engage with them. Not to feed into the conversation. If they're complaining about something, not to buy into it or even listen to it. And sometimes it required me to get up and walk away. And if it happened enough times that you get up and walk away from somebody that's complaining, then sooner or later they're gonna catch on.
They're gonna stop. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Or they might not stop, but they.
That's a tough one, but
Disrespect.
just to not engage.
I'm not gonna do this with you right now.
My biggest advice would be to not engage into
yeah.
any of the conversation at all.
Until they calm down.
And then say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it boils down to whatever you choose. Do you choose to see it half full or half empty? It's totally up to you. We do have a choice. Okay, so if you're tired of living a life that doesn't seem like you're yielding the results that you want, then you must train yourself to see the glass half full. Because that's your body, that's your energy, that's your conscience telling you something is not right. That's not who you are, because you're getting frustrated because of how you are. So you do have a choice, and you have the courage and the strength to change it. Okay, you really do have the choice to change it. By practicing and applying positive, grateful thoughts, you will change your world. I'm gonna repeat that. When you practice and apply positive, grateful thoughts, you will change your world. Just by what you're speaking. And you're affirming yourself. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. Whatever you say you are, you am. It is just that true. It is so positive. It is a powerful tool. And this is one of those things, anybody a psychology major? Oh, okay. Well, in psychology, they teach you on stuff like that, what you're thinking and your thoughts. Because when you go see, some people may have to go see a psychologist or, what do you call the other term? Psychologist. To me, they're the same, but they're kind of a little different. But anyway, when you go, you just think you're talking. They're asking you questions about your thoughts and your feelings. And some people think that when you go talk to somebody about your thoughts and feelings, regardless if you're paying them or if it's somebody in your family or your friend that you trust, and they call it venting. I guess when you do it for free, it's called venting. When you pay somebody, it's called going to see a psychiatrist or whatever. But it helps, because you're going through the channels and the steps that actually help shift this. some mind shift. And sometimes we all need it, okay? So you will change your world when you change your thoughts and when you are grateful. And that's the other part. You have to be grateful. Everybody in this room, if we were to go to a foreign country, they would look at us like we were trillionaires because we are just so blessed. So blessed. And we have to be grateful for the little things, because then I believe that when we're grateful for the little things, that's when the bigger things are going to come. That's when the bigger things are. If whoever your higher being is, they can't trust you with a little bit of stuff, why do you really think that they're going to trust you on a greater magnitude? Okay, let's be clear. When you become someone of Jen's status, people look up to her. If you've ever gone to a big event, anybody ever gone to a seminar or a career conference, especially after she's just trained, and you see at the end some million people in line waiting to talk to her. You would have thought she was the rabbi or something, because everybody's waiting to talk to Jen, because in Mary Kay, she is a really big deal. A really big deal. Do you think if she wasn't humble enough, or she hadn't gone through some mind shifting or some developing as a person, that God would give her that big platform? Because that's a big platform. Mm-hmm. So you have to make sure that we're ready for those platforms. Not that we're not capable, because I believe that all of us are capable. But when you get certain levels and certain platforms, that's serious. It's serious. You never know who is watching you. You just never know. So we have to develop and see that glass is always half full, and be grateful for whatever step I'm on, because all of it is just a step. I'm here now. I'm here. I'm here. I might be on this step for a minute. I don't like it, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I have a roof over my head. I have people that love me. I can eat. I can walk into the refrigerator and open it up and get anything I want to eat at any time. I have heat when it's cold. I have air when it's hot. We have to be grateful. It's a mind shift, okay? So, positive thoughts and how you choose to see things, they attract that type of energy. You hear like attracts like, okay? So your positive thoughts, your positive energy, it will start to bring good things to you. It's really true, regardless if you think it or not. If you don't think it, then you need to start thinking it. You need to, it's like a muscle. You need to strengthen it, okay? So remember, and I wanna before I say that, anything that you want to achieve in life, anything that you want to achieve, I believe you can achieve it, okay? You have to once see the vision, make it clear in your mind, this is what I'm going after. Don't deter from it. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. If it is, who here wants to be a director, truly wants to be a director, okay? Do you believe in your mind that it can happen?
Yeah.
You believe in your mind that it can happen, okay? And do you tell yourself, I am a director?
No.
I have what it takes to become a director.
Yeah.
So when it comes, so you said no?
I said no to the one that says I am a director.
I am a director.
I said yes to the one that says, do
Okay.
you have what it takes?
So then we gotta do the mind shift and say, I am a director. I am. I just don't have the seat. It's a suit yet. It's just like when people say, I'm a leader. All of us are leaders. All of us are leaders. We're moms, we're wives, we're supervisors on our jobs. You don't need this suit. Let's be clear. I was a leader before I got this suit. Okay, now I like this suit and I think I look good. Did I tell you I lost 7 pounds, so now I can fit my skirt? But let's be clear, I was a leader before I got in this suit, because I knew that I had those qualities, and I knew, I was a leader when I was on the basketball court. I was a leader when I was on the volleyball court. I was a leader in my sorority. I was always a leader, but I had to tell myself, I'm also a leader in Mary Kay. And I had to just keep seeing that glass as half full, half full. It's going to happen, half full, okay? And then while you're telling yourself that, you have to just relax and enjoy the journey. It's all a journey. And when you get to whatever it is you want to achieve, the feeling of accomplishment is something that nobody can ever take away from you. That is the greatest accomplishment. That is like, wow, it is your personal moment, your moment of achievement. And we're all worthy of those moments. However, how many of them you want, you are worthy of them. You have to do the work, you have to apply yourself, but I believe the biggest muscle that we have to train is this mind. You have to believe it in order to achieve it. You hear that cliche all the time, but it is so true. You have to believe it in order to achieve it. And if you don't believe it, it is like a muscle. You have to train it. You have to train it because it can happen. You have the power to achieve anything that you want. And you have to remember that life, that it's your life, I'm sorry, Kenny Ramon knows, that it's your life, so you have the choice to make it sweet. Okay, so I want y'all to repeat after me. It is my life.
It is my life.
And I have the choice.
And I have the choice.
To make it sweet.
To make it sweet.
Okay. So, this right here is going home with someone today. And it's just a little symbol of seeing the glass half full, okay? And when you see the glass half full, you are going to be able to reach the stars, okay? So there's a lucky person here who, underneath of their seat, they have a little sticker that says winner. So everybody has to get up and look under their seat and see.
Mine says Norwood. Norwood. Winner.
You got it? You don't sound excited.
Oh,
Oh no, you're disqualified. You don't say that. Winner. Like winner.
right.
That's how you gotta say it. So this is just a little reminder to see the glass as half full, and you're gonna always reach to the stars.
Awesome.
That's right, Linda.
So I have something for everybody too.
Ooh.
Because remember I told you life is sweet, right? So these candies represent how sweet life is. Okay, so when you're nibbling away on these Hershey Kisses, when you're nibbling away on these Hershey Kisses, and you can have more than one, ladies. I have several bags. When you're nibbling away on these Hershey Kisses, I want you to remember that life is sweet and that you have the choice. It's your life. Make it sweet. Okay? All right.